The grip this man has on my neck is disgusting. It's despicable. They could run me over. This man could literally run me over. He wears glasses. I have problems. That's okay. That's okay. I really and truly cannot believe I'm about to do this right now. I hope you're sad. I hope you have a snack, a beverage, something, because we are going through my all-time favorite dark romance books and like a little bit of a dark romance reading guide. But a guide is organized. This is not the most organized, but I will be giving recommendations for beginners. I'll be giving some intermediate recs, very dark romance recs, as well as mafia recs. So I'm so excited for that. And I'm only including books that I loved and would absolutely recommend. Okay, so to get this out of the way first, there's gonna be some popular books that will not be on there, i.e. the Cat and Mouse Duet. I know, controversial. The Ritual, which is the Lord series. Yeah, that's not gonna be on here either. So if it's not included, I either didn't read it, one, or I didn't really like it, didn't love it enough. If I included every single dark romance book I've read, we'd be here all day. So I for sure need a beverage. I had an Alani like a few hours ago. So we are having a Dr. Pepper Zero strawberries and cream. It's so good. Now, one of the reasons why this was so hard is when it comes to dark romance, what you consider to be beginner, intermediate, advanced is very subjective. Okay, so what I might recommend as beginner, it might not feel that beginner to you. So just keep that in mind. And as always, okay, your mental health matters so much. Make sure you check the trigger and content warnings for dark romance. Some girls like to go in blind. They like to go in, they're here for a wild ride. I love that for you, I support you. However, I will always tell people to check their trigger warnings. And also vice versa, what I consider super dark, some people might not. So just like take that with a grain of salt. Anyway, let's get into it. We're gonna start with some of my beginner recommendations, okay? And a lot of these are series. Starting with the first dark romance book / series I ever read. One of my favorites of all time, holds such a special place in my heart. That is the Devil's Night series. The first book is Corrupt, the second book is Hideaway, the third book is Kill Switch, the fourth book is Nightfall. And there are 2 novellas. Now, this is a series of interconnected standalones, which means each book follows a different couple. However, with this series, the plot line is continuous throughout, so you absolutely should not read these out of order. This was my introduction to my obsession with masked men. Men in masks, they do something to me. Now, the series follows 4 guys in the same friend group, and 3 of those 4 guys were sent to prison back in high school. And each of their love interests potentially plays a role in them getting sent to prison. So we have a lot of like enemies to lovers, revenge, hatred, absolute insanity, okay? And we switch between past and present timelines in these. So it will show their relationships in high school, and then it will show the relationships post them getting out of jail. Why I think this is really good for beginners is because it will introduce you to some like heavier themes and topics without going too deeply into them into detail. It also will introduce you to insane MMCs who are morally black, some are morally gray. And I love the romance, but there's also such good plot in this. That can be a problem with dark romance, is sometimes there's just like no plot at all, which can work, but other times it can really lose me. The first book is Corrupt. Some people don't like it. I still love it, okay? Michael's my least favorite out of all of the MMCs, but this is like childhood crush, okay? And then it goes into boyfriend's brother, but it becomes ex-boyfriend's brother. It's insane. I love this so much. I also just love like the entire theme, like the scenery, what I picture in my head. It's so fun. And they're all loaded. All of these guys are filthy rich as well. Hideaway follows Kai and Banks, okay? And Banks is Damon Torrance's sister. So this is best friend's sister, brother's best friend. Forbidden romance. Banks is such a badass. She's probably my favorite FMC in this. Then we have Kill Switch. This is one of my favorite dark romance books quite literally ever. This is a 6-star read. Damon Torrance is so up there in my top book boyfriends. At first, you're probably gonna hate him. You gotta bear with him. He's not for everyone, but he's for me. He's truly morally black. He is absolutely insane, but his story is so heartbreaking. This made me sob so much. What he goes through, what he experiences, like ruins me. And then Winter, the FMC, she is blind and they fall in love in high school. So we get that story. And then it's just like tragedy in the present. And Damon, marries her sister for revenge. It's insane. And it's very deep. Like, it will hit you very hard emotionally. And lastly, my second favorite, this was also 5 stars. We have Nightfall, Will Grayson, also up there in my top book boyfriends. Such a tortured soul like Damon. Will Grayson and Damon live in my head rent free. Also, in each of these books, there's like a scene with multiple people partaking in spicy activities together, and I'm sweating. I also love the spice in this series. It is spicy, but it's not to the point where, for me personally, it took away from the plot at all, and like it had me gnawing at the bars of my enclosure. This is second chance romance, also revenge plot. I could not put this down. I had to keep reading on the edge of my seat. Will and Emery will break your heart. Their story makes me actually want to jump out of a window, and it's long and it's just painful, but it's so good. Oh, I love this series so much. I miss it. I think I'm gonna reread it. There's nothing like this. There's nothing like this. Then we have a series that is in my God tier series, okay? That is the Mindfuck series. Now this whole book is the series. It's a bunch of small books in one. It's packed into one big book. So like I read this so quickly. This is very different in the sense it's like a dark romantic suspense. There's different types of dark romance, right? And this is a dark romance where the dark parts don't come from the spice. There are spicy scenes, but this is not smut. This is very, very, very plot driven. Lana Myers is one of my favorite FMCs ever. She's a serial unaliver on her revenge arc. She is so morally gray. She will not let anyone get in her way of getting revenge, okay? And her love interest is the FBI agent on her case. This is very, very heavy. What she goes through, what has happened to her is absolutely heartbreaking. I was in so many tears. It's very graphic. This is very, very, very graphic and detailed, but oh my God, I've never read anything like this before. I will never read anything like it again. There's also like another murder mystery going on the side that she's literally helping her FBI agent boyfriend solve. This is so good. Then we have the Hollow Boys series, okay? Another interconnected standalone series where each book is going to follow a different couple. And also the plot line is continuous throughout, so you have to read them in order. This is also an academic setting. What is the first book? The Lies We Steal. Now you have to bear with this. This was like 3.5 stars for me. This was average. This was a good, silly, fun time. The rest are so good. This was mid. I'm not gonna lie, this was mid. The plot starts with one of our MMC's Silas' girlfriend being murdered. At least that's what they think. And they're trying to uncover that, figure out what happened there. And that whole plot line continues throughout the whole series. But then our first book, The Lies We Steal, the one that isn't the best, okay? This follows, is her name Briar and Alistair? Wait, I could be so wrong. No, I was right. Briar and Alistair. Okay, this is bully romance. And these guys, they're insane. Okay, they're absolutely crazy. And Briar and one of her friends are hiding out in the woods and they see these guys commit a murder. And so essentially, like, now she's involved and it's just crazy. And Alistair is out to get her. It's just, it's twisted and it's fun. This one's fun, but it's not the best. Then book 2 is my favorite book in the series. Another 5-star Roman Empire. Okay, this follows Rook and Sage. This is The Truce We Burn. This is so good. This is also second chance romance, so painful. Past and present timelines. The angst, the yearning, the longing. Rook Van Doren, also up there in my top book boyfriends. I love this man so much. He's insane. He's absolutely insane and he is so in love with Sage. It kills me. He has so many demons. He is such a tortured soul. They will ruin you. They will rip your heart out. Then books 3 and 4 are a duet. Okay, The Blood We Crave. This follows the same couple and this follows Lila and Thatcher, and Lila, she's the stalker. So it is a stalker romance and she is the one who's the stalker and he's a serial unaliver psychopath. I love being in his head. I also love Monty J's writing. Like, she will be so poetic at times and hit you so deeply. Then The Oath We Give. Okay, this follows Silas, the one whose girlfriend was murdered. And everyone thinks that he is schizophrenic. So being in his head is also very interesting. And this is a marriage of convenience. He marries Coraline and the mouth on this man, so unexpected. And then we have Wrath of an Exile, which is the first book in the second gen series, okay, to the Hollow Boys series. And it follows Rook and Sage's daughter. Yeah, this was so good. Forbidden romance, okay, he's her foster brother, seeing Rook as a daddy, and like seeing all of them grown up. This is how you do, okay, a second gen series. This is everything. Also the found family throughout this is so good. Then some standalones that I think are really, really good for beginners. Like this is definitely like just getting your toes wet. This is Anything and Everything Carrie Lake. Now she writes dark gothic romance. These are all dark gothic romance books. She has a few dark gothic fantasy romance books that I'm not going to mention here, but first I'm going to mention one of my favorite books of all time. This is Nocticadia. This is a dark gothic romance, academy setting, professor student, Dr. Death, Professor Bramwell, also in my top book boyfriends. He's in my top 15 book boyfriends. Carrie Lake is one of my favorite authors ever. Her writing is poetry. It's incredible. The worlds that she creates, they are so dark and spooky and immersive and atmospheric and unique. Our FMC's mother died years ago because of some weird disease, parasite. So she goes to Dracadia University to study this disease. And who's the lead researcher on said disease? Professor Bramwell. This is the slowest, slow burn. The plot is incredible. So much tension, so much angst. The spice, once it does burn, is gonna make you lose your mind. The mouth, a professor with a filthy mouth. A professor with a filthy mouth is going to get me every single time. We also have Secret Society too, like it's a little bit spooky. Ugh! I cannot recommend this book enough. I also think these are all really good introductions to Morally Grey MMCs. They're very plot forward as well. Isle of Sin and Shadows, okay, this had me like scared. Like I was like looking around, like I was like, is something gonna pop out at me, okay? Our FMC goes back to her hometown to find out who, what was involved in her entire family's unaliving. This is also Secret Society. Her old house she thinks is haunted. She meets this man who becomes her protector. Then we have Master of Salt and Bones. This is forbidden romance, age gap. He's her boss. The people in his town refer to him as the devil in the flesh. And she's going to work at his mansion that is rumored to be haunted. There's a lot of weird things going on there, to be a caretaker to his mother. And our MMC's wife also mysteriously died years ago and people think he did it. She's seeing ghosts. This is so good. Then we have The Fabric of Our Souls. This will make you sob. This will make you cry like a baby. This is so, so heavy. Again, this is not focused on the smut, but there are very, very heavy, dark themes. Both our FMC and MMC are in this mental institution. They are roommates, and she is incredibly suicidal. She does not want to live on this planet. That's why she is there. And his like driving force in staying alive is keeping her alive. At the same time, some weird, sketchy shit they are uncovering at this rehab center. They're learning about it, and so you also have this kind of like suspense plot going on as well, a little bit of a mystery. This is good, very heavy. This next one I would say is more like, I would say it's intermediate. What do you even, this is so like, it's hard to describe. Some ones are darker than others. Anyway, this is also another one of my favorite dark romance series of all time, one of my favorite series of all time. This is the Legacy of God series. I eat, sleep, breathe this series. I am obsessed. I didn't rate a single book less than 4 stars. This is by Rena Kent. There's a huge Rena Kent universe. I will get into more Rena Kent recs. There's like 30 plus books. I will leave a link to specific reading orders, but this is technically a second gen series. This was my first Rena Kent series. It really, if you want to read the parents' stories first, you can. I did it backwards and it was totally fine. I loved that I started with this. I didn't care. But the first book is definitely the darkest, I would say, for sure. For sure. It will introduce you to some themes like non-con and dub-con that you will learn about. Definitely check your trigger warnings. It's not going to be for everyone, but that is part of dark romance. You are going to learn what you like and what you do not like. First book, God of Malice, 5 stars. This is my second favorite book in the series. Killian Carson, number 15 book boyfriend. He's my favorite psychopath. He is a true psychopath. He is hilarious. I could be in his head all day, like nonstop. There are no other dark romance book boyfriends like him. Also, even though nobody asked, I'm gonna tell you anyway. Damon Torrance, number 14 book boyfriend. Are there any others that I've mentioned? Deverick, Dr. Death, number 12 book boyfriend. And then in this series, each book does follow a different couple. It doesn't have a continuous plot throughout like the Devil's Night series and Hollow Boys, but I would still highly recommend reading this in order because you need to understand these characters, and like characters will pop up and then their books will be later. So definitely read this in order. This is also an academy setting. setting. You have a really good found family, very much so focused on the romance. The romance between these couples, that is the main plot, and I devoured it. Nobody writes morally black men, obsessive, possessive psychopaths like Rena Kent, and I will die on that hill. It's good. I'm giggling. I'm sweaty just thinking about it. So he's a psychopath and she's like the good, innocent girl, enemies to lovers. Like, I hate everyone but you, but to the next level. Like, Killian does not understand emotions. He doesn't feel them like a normal person, but he feels for her. I can't. Then we have God of Pain. Some people don't like this one. Obsessed. This is my third favorite. I think I gave this 4.5 stars, maybe 5. I love Creighton and Annika. This is Grumpy Sunshine at its finest. She's a mafia princess. He's the quiet one, the tortured soul, the anti-hero. So broken. Like, it's always the quiet ones. I will say that with my full chest. Then we have my favorite book in the series, God of Wrath. Jeremy Volkov. This introduced me to my obsession with stalkers. This is a stalker romance. He is my favorite stalker. He's everything to me. And he's Annika's brother, okay? I love their relationship. He's number 13 book boyfriend, and our FMC's name is Cecily. I also love Cecily. They have a little secret romance going on. He's a mafia prince. He's also a heathen, okay? So Killian, he's a heathen. Jeremy is a heathen. Nikolai is a heathen. And then Gareth, who's in Kiss the Villain, is another heathen, but I'm not including Kiss the Villain because I didn't like that. That's a spinoff, but we pretend that didn't happen. The heathens, they also wear masks. They have this thing called Initiation Night where they chase people around with masks. So yeah, in God of Wrath, you are introduced to a lot of crazy kinks. They explore their crazy kinks together. But also, like, he has such a soft spot for her. He also is crazy, but then, like, she'll send him sparkling heart emojis and he'll get all freaked out by it. He'll be like, what is this? What does this mean? Like, when he's falling for her, he doesn't understand why his heart is, like, clenching. He thinks that he needs to go to the hospital, but he really just has feelings for her. He literally stocked his whole closet with clothes in her exact size for her. He makes her waffles in the morning. He counted all of her freckles. Okay, acts of service, man. I don't care that he's stalking her. I'm here for it. Then we have God of Ruin, okay, which follows Landon and Mia. I love Mia. Their dynamic is hilarious to me. Landon is Glyn, our FMC in God of Malice, her brother, and they go to rival colleges and he's just so delusional. He's like, no, I'm gonna make her love me. It doesn't matter. Like, she's already in love with me. How could you not love me? She's also mute, so she has a very tragic backstory as well. Like, there's a lot of trauma throughout the series. Then we have God of Fury. This was my first MM romance. Okay, this follows Nikolai and Bran. Bran is Landon's twin brother. Nikolai is absolutely hilarious. Oh my God, this book is so good. It's so heartbreaking. I sobbed my eyes out. Nikolai is also a stalker. This is like hate to love. Bran wants absolutely nothing to do with him, but Nikolai is also so delusional and he's like, no, it's fine. He loves me. Like, it's totally cool. It's totally cool. Really good mental health rep, even though it is so, Bran's story like actually hurts my soul. Their romance, it's like, ugh, their love is so palpable. Ugh, really, really, really good mental health rep as well. I love their story. Then the last book is God of War. This isn't everyone's favorite, but I absolutely devoured it. Okay, it's a little different because it isn't set in college. It's set a few years post all of these other books. This has the amnesia trope, which Rena Kent does so well. I usually hate it until I read her books. This is also arranged marriage. She wakes up in the hospital to find out she is married to Eli King, who she is thought has always hated her. You don't know so much, and so much is unraveled as you read, and it's also really, really heartbreaking. Eli ugh. We're just doing dark mafia romance, Rex, now, because dark mafia romance is my favorite subgenre of dark romance. My dark mafia romance awakening needs to be studied in a lab. I am absolutely feral. Here's the thing with dark mafia romance. When they hit, oh, so good. So good, but you have to read, like, once you read the core, like, amazing ones that are then your standard, you have to read probably for every 10 mafia books I read, there's like 2 really good ones. So there's so many awful ones, but here are my favorites, okay? Starting with my first dark mafia romance series, one you guys are probably familiar with. It is so popular and for good reason. That would be the Maid series. There is nothing quite like it. I am obsessed with this series, okay? 3 books. Each book follows a different couple. Don't even get me started. Mafia men unmatched. No. Like, you don't even understand. Like, I would crawl through glass for them naked. The first book, The Sweetest Oblivion, follows Nico and Elena. Arranged marriage, forbidden romance, forced proximity, Italian mafia. He literally, quite literally, blows up a gas station because the man working there threatened to put his hands on her. Or he did put his hands on her, I can't remember. Nico Russo, yeah. And in the beginning, Elena's sister is arranged to be married to Nico. Then we have one of my favorite mafia books ever, The Maddest Obsession, my favorite in this series. This is everything to me. I need to reread this right now. Christian Alistair, number 10 book boyfriend, okay? He's been in therapy because of his obsession with her for 8 years. He has worn her hair tie on his wrist for 3 years. He saved his first kiss for her. Russian mafia men, Russian nicknames, no, I can't, I'm sick. I am so sick. This man is so pathetically down bad. It's like in the best way. She literally forgot his name and he's still obsessed with her. Then The Darkest Temptation, definitely the darkest out of the 3. This is also great for beginners. Great for beginners, I think. Oh my God, these men too. And this is Captor Captive, Age Gap, Grumpy Sunshine. Oh! He kidnapped her to get revenge on her father, okay, and ended up wanting to keep her, despite it infuriating him how obsessed he is with her. Another one of my favorite mafia series ever, the Sinners Anonymous series. Ugh! Like, oh, this and the Maid series do something to my mind, body, and soul. Also great for beginners, okay? The first book, Sinners Anonymous. This is slow burn. All these are super slow burn. Like, the tension, don't even get me started. This is forbidden romance. It's her fiance who is like 70 something, his nephew. Age gap, enemies to lovers. There is this scene. They're sitting at dinner and a man puts his hands on her. And Angelo asks this man to stand up. And he asks her, our FMC, what's her name? Rory, to move a few steps to the side. And what does he do? He takes his gun out and shoots this man in the head. Then the next 2 books are a duet. And these are just even better, both 5 stars, okay? Sinners Condemned and Sinners Consume follow Rafe and Penny. The next book is also going to be, it's going to be a duet. I believe it's coming out this year. I'm hopeful. I really hope. I feel like we've been waiting for it forever, okay? But all of them are brothers. So Rafe Visconti, he's number 11 book boyfriend. You want to see a man yearn, grovel on his knees for her? This is enemies to lovers. The slow burn is like actually will have you fucking foaming at the mouth. Age gap, he's her boss. She works on his yacht and they both live on this yacht. So we also get forced proximity. She has him wrapped around her finger. She walks him like a dog in the best way. It's like actually makes me want to die. He absolutely hates vodka. He only drinks whiskey, but she hates whiskey and she won't kiss him if he tastes like whiskey. So he doesn't drink whiskey ever again. He only drinks vodka. He buys her a Birkin bag in every single color. I think he pays her, I can't remember how much money he pays her to kiss him, but anyways, he pays her to kiss him. Okay. He drives her around at night in the back seat of his car so she can sleep because she can't sleep at home because of her trauma. So he will just drive around aimlessly while she's sleeping in the car in the middle of the night. I literally cannot handle it. I want to die. Like, I actually want to die. Then we have a God tier series. Okay, one of my favorite, no, this is my favorite dark mafia romance series ever. This is the Dark Verse series. The first 2 books follow Tristan and Marana, and then the next 3 books follow different couples, and then the syndicator is all of the couples together. Now, even though these books follow different couples, it is a continuous plot line throughout, so you have to read them in order. The Predator and the Reaper are books 1 and 2, and they follow Tristan and Marana. They are my favorite couple in the series. Tristan Kane, my favorite. He's number 8 book boyfriend. Tristan Kane, he barely speaks. He barely speaks and he doesn't have to say a word. There's no making sense of it. This is like my type. It's just like the quiet, insane ones that are just do something. Like the chokehold, the grip this man has on my neck is disgusting. It's despicable. He doesn't have to say a word. He does not have to say a word. He could do anything to me. This is true enemies to lovers. Oh, it's so good. I truly think you should just go in blind to this. This is also great for beginners. Another great beginner dark romance series recommendation. It gets a little bit darker as the books progress. Oh, and just like the mystery of the whole plot line, I truly think this is so good to go in blind. This is such a slow burn. The hate spicy scenes. Like I actually lose my mind. Just thinking about it, I'm ready to drop everything and read this whole series all over again. Book 3 follows Dante and Amara, and this is friends to lovers. Their romance, like their love is so painful. Like what they go through it's like years of just pain and agony. I love them. Then the finisher follows Zephyr and what's his name? Zephyr and Alpha. Okay, this is Grumpy Sunshine, a twisted take on Second Chance. And then the Annihilator is definitely the darkest one. I'm not gonna say who it follows because I don't wanna give anything away, but this is Stalker romance, psychopath. I am so here for this. This is my second favorite book. Well, next to the first two. Oh, it's crazy. And then The Syndicator, I loved it. It had its flaws. Did I want more from this final book? Absolutely. But I was just so excited to see these characters again. I am so emotionally attached to all of them. So it was just nice to be here, but it had its issues, but I still enjoyed it. Oh, also all these books are on my Amazon storefront. They're under my dark romance reads. I'll put the link in the description for you guys if you want to get your hands on them. Now let's get into Rena Kent's Mafia books. Her Mafia books are so good. There are, I think, a few more than the ones I'm gonna share, but these are just my favorites. These here and then The Legacy of Gods are my favorites. The other Rena Kent books that I have read, I haven't liked, so that's why they're not included here. I'm gonna start with the order that I would recommend reading these in, starting with The Throne Duet. Now, both of these together, solid 4 stars. This isn't my favorite duet ever, but I still think it's a good, fun time and worth the read, and I would definitely recommend it. We have Throne of Power and Throne of Vengeance. This follows Rye and Kyle. This is arranged marriage, and it is so scrumptious. Now, one of the issues with Rena Kent is she doesn't always write the best FMCs. They can be very meek and weak and just, But Rye is an exception to that. She is involved in the Russian mafia, and she like asserts her dominance there, and she like refuses to be disrespected. I absolutely love her. And she is arranged to be married to Kyle, who used to be her bodyguard, and then he left. She didn't know why, and she had feelings for him, and now she like pretty much hates him but has to marry him, and it is just so good. And Rena Kent books, like the MMCs, they're crazy. They're unhinged. They're going to do things that make you question all of your morals, especially the Deception trilogy. Now, this is one of her spiciest trilogies. This is so spicy and absolutely insane. Adrian Volkov could tie me up. Apps here are no, yeah, exactly. The plot in this is crazy. I could not put this down. I read all 3 of these in 2 days. Like, it is super spicy, but it is such a mind fuck. Like I didn't know what was true, what wasn't. He's the brains behind the Russian mafia, so he's silent but deadly. Our FMC is homeless, okay, and she looks just like Adrian's dead wife, and he needs to pretend that his wife is still alive for the mafia for whatever reason that I'm not going to get into. So he offers her the opportunity to come stay and live with him and pose as his wife so that she has like a safe home. She has food. He'll take care of her, yada, yada. And she's homeless. She's like, okay, well, I can't really pass that up. And he's also blackmailing her. No. So the real reason is actually that, wait, this is me. I'm like, wait, okay, so that's what happened. But then I'm like, oh, wait, it's all coming back to me because no, she was homeless. Okay, but the real reason why she went with him is because he was blackmailing her. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Like, she either is gonna go to prison for what she did or pretend to be his dead wife. So she's like, okay, well, this is what I'm gonna do. She's also terrified of him because he's absolutely terrifying. Again, morally black. What you would read third is Rena Kent's best work, And I Will Die on That Hill. This is the Monster Trilogy. Oh! This follows Kirill and Sasha. Sasha is another one of her best FMCs. She is such a baddie. Sasha is disguised as a man in the military. The first book is Blood of My Monster. And Kirill is her captain. And she's disguised as a man in the military because she's trying to get revenge for her family that was unalived years ago. She thinks Kirill's father was involved in that unaliving. She gets this opportunity to go home with Kirill because he's the leader of the Russian mafia. He has to go back. And she goes with him as his own personal bodyguard and sniper. Yeah, no, this is so good. So good. Kirill is also daddy. He is silly, goofy, crazy, unhinged, will make you, he could run, they could run me over. This man could literally run me over. He wears glasses. Ugh! My foot is still broken, which is so unfortunate. It's just down here, like my boot. Now we're getting into some of my very recent. Okay, now we're getting into a recent favorite of mine, actually 2 favorites. And this was my introduction to Cora Riley. We have Twisted Emotions and Twisted Pride. Now, Cora Riley, like Rena Kent, has this huge universe that I have not dipped my feet into. I'm intimidated by it. I hear it's kind of hit or miss, but Larry recommended these ones to me. She said that they are the best and they are so good. So this is the second and the third book in the series. They're interconnected standalones in this series specifically, and they each follow brothers, except the first book, Twisted Loyalties, which I didn't read, follows one of their friends. I'm gonna eventually read that book, but I've heard the other books in this series are not that great. I also read Twisted Bonds, which I don't own. Twisted Emotions and Twisted Bonds is the second book for this couple. Okay, so they have 2 books. Twisted Emotions, 5 stars. This is everything to me. This is Nino Falcone. This man, he does not feel emotions and he doesn't know how to feel them normally. And that just does it for me. That specific type of mafia man is going to get me every single day of the week, every single hour, every single minute. And this is arranged marriage. He's arranged to be married to Kiara. This is also age gap. And Kiara has so much trauma. She has a heartbreaking past and he sees that in her and helps her work through it. This man, since he doesn't understand emotions to kind of gauge how she's feeling, he puts his fingers on her wrist to get her pulse point, and then he'll watch her face to kind of see how her heart rate is picking up, to see how she's feeling, to see if she's okay. And also because she has a history of being afraid of men, before they're doing the spicy time for the first time, he tells her that she can restrain him, tie him up if she's afraid of him. So yeah. Then Twisted Pride follows Nino's brother, Remo. And I'm still a Nino girly. I am. But Remo is just so unhinged in a completely different way. Oh my God. This is captive. It's crazy. It is insane. He kidnaps her to get revenge and don't even. He literally steals her on her wedding day and he kind of needs to give her back. Does he? I don't know. The other Cora Riley book that I'm going to recommend that I have read, and this is just a standalone, is Sweet Temptation. And this was my introduction to single daddies in the mafia. Yeah, I'll say that again. A mafia single daddy. Yeah, I don't know where that trope was all my life. I didn't know it existed. That's everything I needed and then some. I'm a single daddy hill. We already know this. I'm a broken record at this point. And these 2, okay, this is also arranged marriage, and Cora Riley does arranged marriage so well. And she just bulldozes into their lives and flips it upside down in the best way. This is Grumpy Sunshine, and she helps heal this broken family. This man, I was a feral caged animal, single daddy in the mafia. Okay, and then we have Dom. Oh my God, this is the 3rd book in the Alliance series, and it's the only book I'm gonna recommend out of that series. Narrow book 1 actually is a maybe for me, but I'm not including it in here because it's a maybe. It was good, it was fine, but it was 3.5 stars for me. But these are all interconnected standalones. You can read them separately. If you want to start and read them all, there's 4 books in this series. First book is Narrow, but you're totally fine to read Dom on its own. King is book 2, did not like it at all. Hans is book 4, hated that too. So Dom though, oh my God. Dom, no. He's so crazy. This would also be a good one for beginners. This is forced marriage, and how they meet, their meet cute is one of my favorites. They meet on an airplane in the beginning and they do the deed in the bathroom. This man tattoos his name around her ring finger 4 times because she has slept with 4 men. This man is quite literally the biggest red flag, and I'm simply only seeing green. Yeah, all of these men. Actually, they're all red flags. I am green. Go. Exactly. His mouth. Oh, his mouth! Good! Wow, this was so good. Okay, and last in my Mafia Rex, okay, we have the Perfectly Imperfect series. Now, this is a super long series. I think there are 11 books out, or there's 10 and the 11th is coming out. I've read 9 books so far in this series. Now, each book is super short, like between 300 and 350 pages. So these are super easy reads. Is it the best dark mafia romance series ever? No, there are a few not so great ones. There's some that I didn't love, but there are others, it's kind of like back and forth, that I just was so obsessed with. But there are 4 books that I absolutely love, that I'm gonna specifically recommend, but I'm still gonna recommend this series as a whole. I also think I binged this. If I didn't read them all back to back to back, I think I would have liked them and appreciated them more, because they're almost all of them are arranged marriage, and I was getting a little bit sick of that. It felt repetitive. But then I took a break before I read books 8 and 9, and I was obsessed again. So Broken Whispers, okay, this is book 2. I loved this. This was Single Daddy in the Mafia. Single Daddy in the Mafia arranged marriage. And then Hidden Truths, book 3, my favorite in the series. This is so good. Oh! Sergey and Angelina have me by the throat. This is age gap. A lot of them are huge age gaps, okay? You gotta be aware of that. The age gaps are gigantic. Arranged marriage, a broken anti-hero MMC with the most tortured souls. He has such big demons, okay? And she's the only one that could calm him down in that specific trope, okay? When she comforts him, brings him down from the ledge, forced proximity, he falls first, and their chemistry was so good. Yeah, this is my favorite in the series. And then book 6, my second favorite, Fractured Souls. This made me cry. I was not expecting this series to ever make me cry, but this one hurt me. Very, very heavy triggers. There is on-page essay. He saves her from trafficking, and she's been missing for months, and she's not ready to tell her family where she is. And he helps her through her trauma, heavy trauma bonding. And the two of them, the way he loves her, and but he also doesn't think he's good enough for her. They will break you. And then the last one that just had me by the absolute throat, okay? Again, a lot of the others were good and super entertaining. I'm still gonna recommend this whole series to you guys, but I just wanted to highlight the ones that I will absolutely recommend, you should read, had me in a chokehold. Book 8, Silent Lies. This was Grumpy Sunshine at its finest. Also arranged marriage, and she marries him so that she could spy on him, and he finds this out super early on, and he's just waiting for her to tell the truth, and it infuriates him that she won't, but he's still obsessed with her. He literally makes her sleep in the other room, but then he can't sleep without her, so in the middle of the night he will get her, take her to his bed, and then bring her back to her bed in the morning. He needs constant updates and photos from his workers throughout the day of what she's doing. She is so glittery and colorful and sunshiny, and he is just grumpy and dark and deadly and crazy, and he pretends he hates all of her sunshininess, but he absolutely loves it. He loves it. He lets her put colorful, sparkly bows on his trained killer dogs. He bought her $15,000 emeralds, $15,000 each, because she saw them. She didn't know that they were emeralds. She thought they were just glass. She saw them, was hey, I want more of these for my fish tank. So he bought her a whole bag of them. Also his mouth. A dirty mouth mafia man. What more do I need? I have problems. That's okay. That's okay. We all like what we like. There's no judgment here. Zero, none. Guys, I'm fading. I'm getting tired. Okay, those are all of my dark mafia romance recs. Now we are going to get into some recs that I think are very dark. For more of my well-seasoned dark romance readers, or if you just want to start off with a bang, don't say I didn't warn you. One of my favorite trilogies ever. This sticks with me. This traumatized me. This ruined my life. This actually made me want to throw up. This made me cry more than it made me smile. This took me through the 7 stages of grief. This actually made me want to run to my mom and have a hug. I hate being touched, so that's interesting. Anyways, this is the Edge of Darkness trilogy. The first book is Insatiable, and this is by Lee Rivers. Now, Lee Rivers also writes the Web of Silence duet. You might be familiar with Little Stranger and Little Liar. I did read both of those, and they were entertaining. Like, I think I gave them each 3 stars, but like, they're definitely they're very dark and crazy and insane, but I didn't include them in this book just because they were fine, but you do get some of the characters from this in the end of Little Liar, and like, I did live for that. This follows Cade and Stacy, and this is Second Chance, and it is so brutal. She broke his heart years ago. Whatever she did, that I'm not gonna say, he now hates her, but he cannot stay away from her, and he has been watching her for years, and now he's back. We get snippets of them in the past falling in love with each other, and then we get them in the present. Cade is roped into this absolutely awful situation. He is working essentially as a hitman for this awful woman, and his life is dangerous. The people that he loves and cares about are in danger because of that. He ends up trying to protect her at any and all costs, at cost to himself, what he goes through to try and keep her safe. Cade is his story is also just, I can't even speak about it. Like, it is so heartbreaking. And Cade is also, he is a psycho. He is morally black, pitch black. Ugh. And it's so sad because we get him in the past before he like completely loses himself, and we get to watch him fall in love with Stacy, but then in the present he's just so damaged and broken and traumatized, and like, all you want is for them to be together this whole time, and everything and anything is keeping them apart. And there's just, you feel, literally I felt like up until this last, like the last very little bit, I didn't think they were gonna end up together. We also get Daddy Tobias in this book, and Tobias is Cade's dad, and he's been in a psych ward for 20 years. And in this book, it's alluded to that he's had like this crazy relationship and toxic and just insane relationship with Cade's mom, who is Aria, who we also meet. So that is where psychotic obsession comes in. And this is also a recommendation from me that's going to ruin you. This is also by Lee Rivers. And this tells the story of Tobias and Aria before he was in the psych ward. So this is set 20 years prior to the Edge of Darkness trilogy. So you read this first. This is a tragedy. This does not have a happily ever after. This ruined me in so many ways, but it was so good. Tobias is truly insane, and it was so heartbreaking because this is not the same Tobias that we get in the Edge of Darkness trilogy. Tobias is terrifying. And in this, he's like this crazy, silly, goofy psychopath daddy. And I am sad for Tobias. I am sad for him. He is hilarious. He's, oh my God, the way he will do anything for his kids, but this just ruined my life in the best way. If you want closure for Tobias and Aria, read the epilogue of Little Liar, because you will get closure for them. But this is just, it's just pain and suffering and pain, and it's gonna punch you in the gut, but it's so good. And like, you have to read it, you have to know what happens, but it's going to ruin your life. Keeping on the just absolutely painful, heartbreaking in a different way. Now this, I'm always hesitant for this one to recommend it because this is not going to be for everyone. These are some of the saddest books I've ever read in my entire life. I would never read this again because of what it did to me. 5 stars. You have to know what you're getting yourself into. This is the Torment duet. This doesn't have a happily ever after. It doesn't. So if you don't like that, do not read this. This is not a romance. This is a tragic and heartbreaking story about the relationship between, what is the FMC's name? Mina, okay, and her stepbrother, Shay. In part 1, we get the past and present. We get them growing up together, how their relationship develops, and it is this toxic, tragic relationship between the two. Her stepbrother, Shay, is essentially grooming her entire life. Shay is terrifying. He is not, unlike all of these other MMCs that are crazy, unhinged, but like we love them. No, Shay is terrifying, and he is not the type of MMC that you fall for. He is the type of MMC you want to run away from. This gaslit me. This gave me whiplash. This made me feel uncomfortable. This made me feel confused. I was gaslit and manipulated with Mina. I know how awful Shay is, but then he would also like do things that would make me feel so sad for him, and my heart would break for him. And it's just, he needed help and he didn't get it, but there's no justifying what he did. What he did was disgusting, and I was rooting for Mina to get away from him the entire time. That being said, I still hurt for him. I never felt like this before, and it was so painful. she's just so stuck, and you just are like praying that she gets out, and she just experiences so much abuse and she doesn't even know it. She experiences like mental, physical, sexual abuse, and it is heavy and it is hard to read. So read at your own risk, but it's so good. Okay, then this is insane. This is absolutely unhinged. This series is crazy. I thought Killian Carson was crazy, and then he met his match with Caden. Caden gives Killian energy, okay? This is the North Shore series. This is dark and sick and twisted. Now, here's the thing. Beautiful Fiend and Heartless Beloved are the first two books. These are obsessed with these books. Love them so much. Heartless Beloved, I still think about this to this day. Delightful Sins and Lawless God. Lawless God, I did not like. I did not like it at all. So we are not going to include that one. You could still read it, but I wouldn't recommend it. And then Delightful Sins was okay. The reason why it wasn't my favorite is because this is MFM. It's a throuple. It's a throuple. And throuples aren't my favorite. Like MFM isn't my favorite thing to read. And there were certain kinks in here that just weren't for me. Read these ones at your own risk if you're intrigued. And like, that's the thing about dark romance is like, I read the triggers. I knew what I was getting into. Certain things were new to me. So I didn't know. I had to test the waters. And now I know. Now I know that's not for me. And that's totally fine. It doesn't mean that these are bad books or anything by any means. It just, I personally wouldn't recommend them. But these, for my seasoned dark romance readers, yeah. There is dubious consent and non-consent. You can absolutely, like, I encourage you to look up those definitions of dubious consent and non-consent between main couples. Understand what you're getting into. A lot of people don't like to read that. I get that. Beautiful Fiend, Caden King, it's just like a silly, crazy psychopath that is just funny and just unhinged, questioning my morals so hard. Lola King's FMCs are all baddies. Like, they are not weak. They do not get walked all over, and I love that. It's very refreshing. These also have really good plots, okay? This is like mafia adjacent. It's not mafia, but it gave mafia vibes because they come from gang families. And in this one, they come from rival gangs. So this is like enemies to lovers. And he's also delusional in the sense that he's just telling everyone like, no, yeah, she loves me. I'm gonna make her fall in love with me, even though she absolutely hates me. It's totally fine. I don't care. The romance is sick and twisted. I am sick and twisted, but I love it. I do. And I loved Heartless Beloved even more. This follows Alexandra and Z could quite literally do anything to me. Grumpy Sunshine. She is good girl. He's like bad boy. He's a part of the gang family, and she grew up on like the good rich side of town, but her life is not at all as it seems. She grew up in such a toxic household, and he just thinks she's just like this good privileged girl, and then he starts to get to know her and he becomes obsessed with her. The way this man is so down bad for her, so on his knees. I love it. I love it. And I love that so much in dark romance when they're like polar opposites. And he's absolutely everything she is not, but they just are so gravitated towards each other from the beginning and cannot stay away from each other no matter how hard they try. Z is so baby girl. Like, he acts of service king, and she's just like pink and loves Taylor Swift, and she's just like us, and so he starts listening to Taylor Swift for her. This is also a college setting as well. She made him, mind you, he's this dangerous, deadly gang member. She made him a sparkly pink friendship bracelet, and he never takes it off. No, he sketched her. He draws, and he keeps it on his dashboard in his car. He buys pink lighters now because they remind him of her. The betrayal, the plot twist at the end had my jaw on the floor. Oh my God, I'm so obsessed with them. Then another book by Lola King, absolutely insane. She writes very dark romance, but this is Loving the Liars, and it's the first book in the Silver Falls University series. The second book is coming out this month, and I'm so excited. Second Chance, like heartbreaking. This is why I love Second Chance when it's done right. The pain, the angst, the longing, them wanting so bad to be together and everything keeping them apart. Oh my God. These two are toxic as all hell, and I gobbled that up. He's her brother's best friend, okay? And they dated years ago. I think it was like 5 years ago. I can't remember. But they dated in secret. They never told her brother. And then he just kind of like, he disappeared. He broke her heart. And she's never stopped thinking about him. She shows up to class one day after she's finally ruled him out of her life. And who's her new TA? Chris Murray, yeah. Oh, and just what they go through together, what he puts her through, what they put each other through. She gets roped into this super dangerous elite secret society. They go to an academy. Like, the plot was also so good, had me on the edge of my seat. Gives you whiplash. Then a book I forgot that I had down here. The more I think about this, I don't even remember what I read it. I feel like I didn't appreciate it at the time. This broke me. This made me cry. This made me sob. This is not the darkest of dark. I don't know where I'd put this, but this is a standalone. This is called Still Beating. This is traumatic. She gets kidnapped in the very beginning with her sister's fiance. They hate each other. What they go through while they're kidnapped together is awful and heartbreaking, and they form this type of bond. And then it documents their time after being kidnapped, and it's just pain, and it is toxic, and these two will make you want to bang your head against a wall, but you just want them to be okay, and you want them to be together, and you feel like it's never going to happen. And this is if you want to cry. Okay, last but not least, another standalone that I have to mention. This is so spicy. And usually I don't like that. Like, you got to be in the mood for it. This is an ovulation book for sure, but it's also traumatizing. This is Dark Notes by Pam Godwin, a take on Professor Student. It is Professor Student. He's her piano teacher. This is like heavy BDSM, like crazy stuff, but she also has like a very traumatic home life and experiences so much abuse. Their relationship together, it's so forbidden. There is so much tension, and she's like going through so much at home, and she's just trying to survive, and he's starting to learn about that. He's trying to protect her, but also in this relationship that would get him into a bunch of trouble. Yeah, if you need a good spicy, crazy, kind of traumatic standalone, Dark Notes. Oh my God, I feel like I just ran a marathon. That's it for now. I can't, I've read so much dark romance. I agonized over this list, and I feel like I covered everything up to this point. Hopefully you got something out of that. Hopefully for those into dark romance, already like it and you need more recs, if you're trying to get your feet wet, if you want to read more mafia romance, if you're just here to listen, hopefully there was something for you. I think there was. I need to go take a nap now. I am still emotionally exhausted from finishing Fearless yesterday because I cried so much. This just made me nostalgic. I want to read my favorite books again. Hopefully I have more good dark romance books in my future. It's been tough. As of recently, it's been real tough. But that's it. Go read one of these and let me know if you have any recommendations for me that I didn't include that you think I might like, because I'm always looking for more dark romance recs. That's all.